my camera? This one? Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
okay.
that is a camera.
Go ahead.
Hi everyone, and welcome to a special edition of Singles Outreach here in the Capital Region. My name is Hulda Thompson. I'm the co-host of this special Singles Outreach program, and with me, my guest is Maureen Cahill.
Yes?
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. So you are a member, a long-standing member of the Capital District Singles Outreach program.
Yes, I have been.
Okay.
And this year we're celebrating our 30th anniversary.
Yes.
So we have some special events that are added to our activities. And
so 30 years.
30
how long have
years.
you been a member?
I've been a member almost from the beginning.
Okay. So
Yep.
what prompted you to become a member?
Well, going from a couple to a single environment, that created certain adjustments, you know, in my lifestyle, getting to meet new people, and the whole single life was a new experience.
Okay.
So I started going to some of the activities. I started going to picnics. We have discussion groups. We
Yes.
have sports activities. And it was a great adventure for me.
Okay.
And I made new friends and adjusted to the single life with the support of Singles Outreach.
I think that's wonderful. You said two key words, adjusted and the support. And I think that's one of the key things that I personally, now that I'm not a full member yet, but learning about this program, is the adjustment into singleness for some people who are widowed, some people who are divorced, and just coming into this program and being a part of a family. Would you say that?
Oh, absolutely. Very
Okay.
supportive
Okay.
environment.
Yes.
And that's really what you need, you know, to adjust to things.
Yeah, because when you become single, some people got married young, and the transition into singleness is not always easy.
Oh, no,
And
no, that's
especially
true.
if you're a widow, if you are divorced, it is not an easy transition. And to have a community of people who can share what you're going through and help you break into a new cycle or into a new routine, it's wonderful.
Absolutely, and that's what we do, and that's what we have been doing.
Okay.
So, but this particular year is
Your
so
30th
important
year.
because our 30th year, so we're
Yes.
trying to add to our activities, and we're going to resume a couple of things. We used to have what we call a Thursday gathering,
Okay.
which was kind of like a happy hour, and we're going to be resuming that in June. And that's going to be from 5:30 to 8 p.m. at the Desmond Hotel
Okay.
on Route 155. And that's a good event to go to if you're new in the organization. And then we're also going to be resuming our Friday night dances. We used to have Friday night dances each week. And we're going to start going back to that, to have them every 2 weeks.
Okay. Now, I know we have a list of things that we're doing, but the typical single person is watching out there going, why should I put my clothes on and come out and do this? Walk me through a single person saying, okay, I'm getting the courage, I'm taking my time, putting on my clothes and building my courage up to come out to one of these events. Walk me through the event in Desmond that when I am as a single person, come out to meet you, what should I expect?
Well, what you can do if you're concerned about going to an event not knowing anyone, you can call our office and ask if a mentor, you could be partnered with a mentor. And then we would greet you wherever you decide to show up and introduce you to other members and make you feel at home.
That's wonderful. I think that's so key to know that this program has a mentor, which is a very unique thing. You don't find a lot of programs, single programs, that have a mentor, somebody who will greet you, walk you through, and make you not feel like you're the odd duckling. in the
Right,
group.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, make you feel at home.
Yes.
And we have, some people like to go to a small event at first. They don't particularly like to go to a dance or anything that you're going to suddenly come upon 100 or more people.
Exactly.
So we sometimes recommend like maybe a discussion group. We have discussion groups on Tuesdays, 7 o'clock at our office. Or we have a game night on Saturday night. That's a small group that you can meet. Or if you are into any kind of sports, we have a huge repertoire of sports.
Yeah.
We have golf. We have golf. Well, actually, starting from Sunday, we have tennis from 10 to 1 p.m. Every Sunday morning in Latham. Then we have a cycling group, too, on Saturday or Sunday. On the weekend, if you like to take a bike ride, you know, on a nice day, that's available.
Fabulous.
If you like golf, we have golf on Tuesday evenings at 5, and also 8 a.m. on Friday. We have golf. We have bowling, if you like to bowl. Bowling in Latham.
So there is a
So there-
plethora of activities.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. So, and that's a good way to meet people.
It
You meet
is.
them in that specific group, and you meet them doing something that you enjoy.
Exactly, because
That you know.
if you're not an outdoors person, you can go into the small groups, because you have a lot of people sometimes they just want to hear information. And I know some of the classes that I have attended, we just did one on traveling, you know, traveling solo. And that was so wonderful, because you don't have a partner anymore, and maybe you did love to travel. And so that class was so wonderful to sit and to hear all this information from a person who actually did it.
Absolutely.
You know, she's
Absolutely.
a member, and
Yep.
she did the solo traveling through Europe and through Mexico and through the Americas, and was able to come back and share her stories and give you the confidence that
Right.
you can now go on as a single person
Absolutely.
and not lose the desire for traveling.
Right, absolutely. That's another group, the traveling group. Yeah, the traveler. But so it's all according to what your interest is, too. Another great event, which is coming up on the 4th of July, is our picnic.
Good.
Now, picnics, we usually have 100 or more. We just had a Memorial Day picnic, and we had 120 people there. And that was at the Cook Park in Colony.
Yeah.
The one at the 4th of July is in Delmar. It's the Elm Avenue Town Park.
Okay.
And there's all kinds of sports for the sports enthusiasts there. We have reserved a field right next to our pavilion for softball, and that begins at 11 a.m.
Good.
And then we have, adjacent from that is a basketball court and tennis, if you like tennis, a beautiful
Wonderful.
tennis court. And then we have an exercise trail, and then there's a huge swimming complex. And that should be a great event. And we are, at the moment, negotiating with a couple that are dance instructors, country line dance instructors. So we hope to have them there as an exhibit, and also for lessons. We hope that they'll, and they at one time were members of SOS, and they since married. And they have professional positions during the day, but their hobby in the evening is, or on the weekend, is country line instructors, line dance
I
instructors.
think that's
So
wonderful.
we hope to have them.
Yeah, so you
that
have
day.
picnics throughout the year, different ones?
Yes, yes, we have Memorial Day, we have,
And then you have one, so this will be a great opportunity for people to come out and to get to know
yeah, absolutely.
because I'm sure at a picnic you'll find different age group, and this is not just one age group. This is not.
Oh,
a group
no, this
that's
is
one age group.
no, this isn't just one age group. No, this is from, I would say, 30s through, whatever. I mean, but
Yes.
it's not primarily a younger age group, though. It's an older age group. But at the picnics, everybody's welcome,
Yes.
and children are welcome also.
Good.
And it's just a fun time. And we have music all day.
Wonderful.
We have our own in-house DJ who plays. So you can be in the pavilion all day, and you can dance, listen to music, you can play cards, you can play games, or you can go beyond the pavilion and get involved in one of the sports activities, or just watch the softball games going on all day.
I think
But
that's
there's plenty
awesome.
to
That
do.
is
There's plenty to do.
So, I mean, from what we just to wrap up what we just said, there's an event coming up at the Desmond, and what day is that again?
Yes, that is, let's see, that is the 13th, June the 13th, and June the 20th, on a Thursday evenings. That's Thursday evenings at the Desmond. There's a Friday night dance coming up in
And
June
where
the
is that
4th.
going to be?
Friday night dance is going to be at the Holiday Inn in Latham, and that's June 14th from 8 to 11 with our DJ, Fred Jacobs.
Yes.
And then there's some other events that are coming up that might be of interest. Prine House in the Loudonville area, they have a concert series.
Oh.
And that's great fun. It's outdoors, and they have a great barn there for dancing. You can listen to
Whoa.
music outside, or you can go into the barn and dance. And they also have dinners. We'll be having dinners there also. And that is, they begin in, let's see, July the 10th, every Wednesday evening from 7 to 9 through August the 14th.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And that's at the Prine House in Loudonville.
Okay,
Latham,
so
Loudonville.
the big question is, okay, I'm watching this and it sounds interesting and I want to become a part. How do I contact you? Where is information more that I can go on and find out?
Well,
more about this group?
we have our own website. We have our website is www.singlesoutreach.org. That's all one word, singlesoutreach.org. Or you can email us at sossinglesoutreach.org. You can call us. Our office number is 452-6883.
Okay.
And we'd supply you with whatever information you want. We usually send you a newsletter with an application form.
And then your newsletters all throughout the capital region.
Absolutely.
At libraries, you can find
At
them.
libraries, that's
you
correct,
can find
yep.
them here at Proctor's.
Yep.
In different places, you can find them.
That's correct. And in line with our 30th anniversary, we lowered the cost of our dues from $40 to $30.
Yes.
So that's a good thing. And most of our events now are only like $1 or more.
Wonderful,
There's not really, you know, they're not really that expensive. If you wanted to email us, our email address is sossinglesoutreach.org for any questions or whatever you might have. And we also have an info line, but that information you would find on the info line would be specific to whatever event you would be interested in. And there's like an extension a number with that. You can go online, though, for a copy of our newsletter together with our calendar to find out what's going on.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think this is a great, the activities that this group has is I think that's one of the reasons why it's been in existence for 30 years.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
I think that's
Absolutely.
wonderful to show that we have been, you guys have been here for 30 years, and I'm hoping that you'll continue for the next 30 years.
Yes, we hope to. We hope to.
Okay.
And we're on Facebook, and we're on Meetup, and we're different sites too. But the difference between our organization and just going online is our organization, you meet and become friends. There's a camaraderie about our group, and you know who the people are, and so you know you feel more at ease at different events and things. And if you wanted anyone to go to an event with you, you just pick up the phone and find out who's going and what's happening, and it's a very supportive environment for you.
Well, Maureen, thank you for providing all this great information.
Well, thank you.
I think,
thank you.
For those viewers who are watching, if you're watching this right now, why not call the Singles Outreach Program? Stay with us. There's more to come. We'll talk about people meeting up, actually, because it's a singles group. And you know what? There are people here who may want to hook up or, say, okay, I'm not interested in the games. I'm not interested in playing and meeting people. I just want to find somebody. This group is also, I think, will be a good group for you. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Gerald, it's good to see you again.
You too, Jack.
I haven't been around too much. I've been involved with Stephanie, who I met there at Singles Outreach, and we bought a farm together and spending all our time there. But I do miss it. I miss the great people and the fun and the activities and things like that. And I'll never forget the time we did the Monday night and we decided to do completely ad lib and had a Coke and Pepsi debate. And
Yes.
yeah, and the day you married Stephanie.
Yeah, I miss your hikes. One of the things I remember is a picnic we had down, I think it was at Hudson Park.
Yeah.
And they had decided to have a water event. Greg came up with the idea of building boats, and you built that pirate boats with
Yeah.
the squirt gun on there. It just blew everybody
Oh,
out of the
we
water.
we had a good time with that. It was a paddle boat. It went at one speed. If I paddled it too fast, it splashed everybody around, and I took good advantage of that.
Yes, I do
Yeah.
recall that. You sure
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, yeah, that was a fun thing. We did a lot of outdoor activities and different
Yes,
things.
you
Yeah, that
did.
Was, yeah, that was at the Mohawk River. We did that at the,
Okay,
the
yes.
Colony Town Park.
Yeah, I remember also you had your so many different types of hike. I never got to partake in your winter hikes, and where you told you how to survive in
Yeah.
the winter
We
on the
had-
hikes.
What the fun thing with that is, I had people that had a lot of experience, and I've had people that have never been in the woods before, and they were foolish enough to let me talk them into going, and it changed their lives, and they had a fantastic time. Well afterwards, I met somebody in Crossgates. She came over to me, and I didn't remember her. And she said, "You're Jack, right?" And I said, "Yes." And she said she went on her first Adirondack hike with me. And that was, she said, I think like 13 high peaks and 40 pounds ago. And that's why I didn't recognize her. And she just wanted to thank me and SOS for all the things that SOS has offered, and including the hikes and some of the other activities.
And it does say something about SOS that they've been around for 30 years. This is
Yes.
our 30th
Yeah,
anniversary.
that's phenomenal.
And we're having a few special events for the 30th.
Yeah.
On August 16th, they're going to have the talent shows. Remember the old talent shows
Oh,
we used
yeah.
to do?
Yeah.
People would come up doing incredible things.
We had the gong shows.
Well,
If
yes.
we didn't have talent, we could do a gong
Wouldn't-
show. That was
we
fun,
always
yeah.
had talent for that.
Yeah,
And it's going to be at Michael's Banquet House in Latham.
fantastic.
And also, they're going to have another event there, October 18th.
Yeah,
The big dance. Our Friday night dances were totally incredible.
yeah, they
You
were
know,
great.
400 people was not that unusual.
Yeah, the-
And we're going to try to bring that concept back.
right.
And that'll be held at the Banquet House October 18th. And I will be leading a ghost tour myself.
Fantastic.
We had a few incredible experiences in the past. That'll be on the 26th of October.
Yeah,
And hopefully we'll get the same response we did from the other side
Yeah.
as we did in those days. We had a couple
Fantastic, yeah.
interesting, spooky
Yeah.
experiences.
the Halloween was always the best
Oh, the
Friday night
biggest dance,
And the
yeah.
weekend before the Halloween, I led a hike that was a hike and backpacking. People could go in and back out the same night, the same day, or stay over. And we did it at the ghost town at Tahawas in the Adirondacks.
Oh, very
And,
nice.
had a blast, fantastic time.
That's great.
Those are some of the things that brought a lot of people together, and I still have a lot of good friends that I met there. I met Stephanie there, and I didn't join to meet people, and a lot of people don't. They join for the activities, and meeting Stephanie was a side,
Yeah.
it was a bonus
Yeah.
for me.
I met Cartha there,
Yeah.
and we dated for 15 years until our unfortunate passing. And that's the thing that was always so nice with SOS.
Yeah.
There's never any pressure to date.
Right.
SOS is a friend group,
Yes, yeah.
people group.
Exactly.
You go and do things with people.
Yeah.
And I started out very early in SOS's history, and I made so many friends, and I'm still friends with them.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I always liked with SOS.
Yeah.
Friends come first.
Exactly.
And I can just imagine what some other groups are like dating.
Yeah.
You gotta date, you gotta date, you
Right.
gotta get a
Yeah.
girlfriend, you gotta
Yeah.
get a guy friend,
Yeah.
whatever. SOS is just
Right.
very easy-going.
Exactly.
You do a
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
lot of activities, and you might bump into somebody who'll be the love of your life.
Exactly.
We used to be, Dottie Dakota started a science fiction group together
Yes.
about, about 27 years ago now.
Yeah.
It's no longer on the calendar because everybody got married practically.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. And none of that was planned.
Yeah.
It just happens.
happened.
And that's one thing that's so great about singles outreach is that it does happen.
It just happened. I went into one of the Thursday gatherings the first time, and I wanted to meet cross-country skiers, and I had no intention of leading anything. I went in, and they said, "What are you here for?" And I told them cross-country skiing, and all they heard was skiing. They said, "We need somebody to lead the downhill ski group. They're not here." So every bone in my body says, no, I'm not leading anything, and my mouth opened up and okay came out. So I led that. And the first time I got a lot of people, I took names and phone numbers of people interested in a ski trip. I knew what was going on, and there was two girls that led it at the time. One of them was dropping out, and there was Jill left. So I called Jill, and she said, well, she would only lead it if she was co-leading it. So I figured, what better partner for Jill than Jack? So for years we had
very
ski downhill with Jack and Jill. And then I started leading a cross-country ski group. And as soon as the snow melted, somebody said, so Jack, what are we doing next? I said, let's go on a hike. So we started leading the
Very
hiking groups. And I led a lot of groups from hiking, whitewater rafting, canoeing, bicycling, and I even got a pilots group together.
Yeah,
And,
that's,
we had
yeah.
some for pilots and wannabes. People
Yeah.
we had several pilots in the group, and we'd rent planes and take people that wanted to take a flight and kind of share the expenses, and we go different places and have a fantastic time.
That reminds me of so many things. We still do a lot of different types of activities. We're going to bring back Thursday gatherings.
Yes.
Thursday gathering was always so great because you have an idea,
Yeah.
you want to start a group or activity,
Yeah.
and people would just join you there. And I remember a guy was in a leather jacket, and
Yeah.
he's looking around. He says, I feel kind of out of place here. I said, why? He said, well, I'm into motorcycles. I said, well, come to a Thursday night gathering and just get people to sign a sheet if they want to do motorcycling.
Yeah.
And so he looked at me kind of weirdly, came back a couple weeks later, and he had about 125 people sign up. And I
Fantastic,
thought it
yeah.
was so great because I'm looking at the calendar of events. Here we have our hike.
Yeah.
We're going to be hiking in the Corning Preserve from Albany to Waterville.
Yeah.
Good hike. Then they got the bicycle guys. They're going to go from Albany to Dwaynesburg. And then I look at the motorcycle people. They're going from Albany to Ohio.
Yeah.
I thought, that's so incredible.
Yeah.
But there's no limit to the group.
Yeah.
Only your imagination.
Exactly, yeah.
There's so many different kind of things you come up with, and I'm glad they're bringing back
I
Thursday
am too.
gathering.
The Thursday gathering was always one of my favorites.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Joan Slingerland, and I've been a member of Singles Outreach for, probably 25, 27 years. I've been president, vice president, treasurer, and anything that needs to be done, that's me. So today, we've done a lot of talking about the past of SOS, but I want to talk about the future of SOS. And with me today is somebody I just met. This is Jonathan. Hello, Jonathan.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Jonathan is single, and when I told him we were doing a show on being single, he said, hey, I'd like to be on it too. So I pulled him in. Now, Jonathan, you told me that you like to go out and meet people, and you run a hot dog stand.
Yes.
So you talk to a lot of people.
Yes, I talk to people every day. I have people walking down, people, especially with area I'm in. I'm near schools like the Paul Mitchell School and the SCCC, which allows me to talk to a large group of people.
So
yes.
you're not real shy.
No, I'm not. I'm a real talkative person.
So do you like to do a lot of activities?
Yes, I do.
Do you go hiking at all?
I do yoga.
Yoga.
Yes. I do yoga once or twice a week. I go over to in Albany, and it just relaxes me.
So if you had a group of friends that where a lot of them like to do yoga, would you join them in doing yoga, or do you like
yes.
to do it by yourself?
No, I would like to do it with friends. It's more people to talk to afterwards.
But Jonathan, when I joined Singles Outreach, I was raising kids, and I found all I could do was talk kid talk. So I really joined the group to get other people to do things with.
Okay.
And I didn't really try a lot of things because I was busy being a mom. So I used it to try new things. So if you were looking at one of our calendars and it said they were going to a performance at, I don't know, one of the local amateur theater groups like Schenectady Civic, do you think you'd try it?
Well, of course I would, because I'm the type of person who always tries new things. I've done anywhere from cliff jumping to just from yoga to theater. Like I enjoy. I give everything a chance.
Good. How about motorcycle riding?
Oh, I would love to do that.
Now, do you think other people your age would join us?
Yes. But honestly, this is my first time hearing of the singles outreach,
Yeah?
and I never knew it was advertised or nothing. But it'll be a fun group for people my age to get into.
Would it be uncomfortable for you to be around people old enough to be your grandmother?
Oh, honestly, a lot of people told me I have a old, so I honestly don't hang out with people my age
Oh, very
because well, like I said, people told me I have an old, so and I say, I don't know how to say it. I'm more better talking to older people. I don't know why.
That's good. Well, let me just tell you that I like dealing with younger people. I get along very well with younger people. So what the future of SOS, we'd like to see a lot of younger people come into the organization. When the group was formed, most of us were in our 30s and 40s. But we've all gotten older. I don't know how that happened, but we've all gotten older. And because of that, we seem to scare off people that are younger.
Okay.
But we have a lot of activities, and we'd put a lot more on if we could get a younger group in. So you could better watch. We're going to start sending you the newsletter, and we
Okay.
expect to see you there.
All right.
All right, and bring friends.
I will.
Lots of friends. And that's it. I think that's the future of SOS. Right there. Jonathan.
Joan, how have you been?
You know, we've heard a lot of talking today. Have you noticed that?
I've noticed,
Yeah.
yes.
A lot about what was, what is, and what's going to be. But, you know, I think we never talk about what's the main thing that you got out of SOS.
I met Maria.
See? Did you come to SOS to meet Maria?
No, I came to SOS because there were things to do. I wanted to go places and see what was available. So I joined SOS, I don't know, several years ago, maybe
Yeah.
4 or 5 years ago.
I joined it a lot longer. And, you know, I was president for 3 years. And I used to write every month, write a letter to the membership in the president's message. And the last one I wrote, all along I said, I no longer need SOS because I'm, you know, have my social life, I have my family. I don't, like when I joined it, I needed it. I needed to meet people, I needed to get activities. And I kept saying, I don't really need it, but I'm still a member because I think it's a great organization. And when I wrote my last letter, I thought, you know what? I really do need it. I use it as a catalyst.
Well, I think there's a lot to do, and I think because, you know, it offered so many different things. Like I came down on a motorcycle, and so there was a couple other people that I knew that had motorcycles, so that's when I first started coming down. And then the first thing I actually got involved with was with a guy named Tony, and we built the
Tony Perrone.
Tony Perrone, and we built the outhouse for the outhouse races up on Lake
I
George.
remember that.
And
That was
I
really
can remember putting
amazing.
together this outhouse that must have weighed 300 or 400 pounds. And when we got up there and put it on the ice, everyone had these little kite-like things. And we went by the directions, and unfortunately, the rest of the people in the group did not go by the directions. They went by, you know, how light it could be. So we ended up
Shows you.
recruiting like 4 or 5 people when we got up there just to pull our sled across the ice. We were the slowest, but we had the nicest looking. We had the half moon cut out, and we had the lightest girl we could find to sit on the toilet for us, and it was quite fun. So
Well, it sounds like, well, that one thing that SOS does for us is give us a lot of memories. A lot of friends, a lot of memories.
yep, that was fun.
I'm
then
looking forward, though.
All right, well, I think, yeah,
And-
you
and I'll
can
tell
look
you-
forward as well as now past, because you have to, you know, you have to rest your
Yeah.
feet on the past, and then
Yeah,
you
well,
move forward.
I decided that I could very easily, at this stage of my life, become a couch potato. I could just sit down and do nothing for long periods of time. So now, instead of doing that, I look in the calendar and I say, oh, okay, there's a group going to dinner. That I can handle. I'll go to dinner.
Yeah.
And there's always something that'll get me out of the house, and I need that. I need to get up, get out, and get with people, other than sitting at home.
Well, you do have a nice group, and I think that's what I like about it too. I've done well, I've done a lot of different things, from going out to dinner. In fact, the way I met Maria was, besides the Tuesday night discussions that we had going on, where I
Don't you
originally
just
met
love
her.
those Tuesday night discussions?
I do. I like Tuesday nights.
Oh, I do too.
Because they're always a different topic to go on. And from there, they mention all the different activities that are available for the rest of the week, or even for the rest of the month. And so there was a boat cruise that we all went on, which was, I think, the Captain JP. And they had music, they had a band, and they also had dinner ahead of time. So so I went to that and essentially just kept going. I mean, all the different activities that we had available. I've been on hikes with Jack. I helped partially helped Jack build the cabin in the woods. Jack really built the cabin, and I
Watched.
once in a while threw in an extra hand.
Had the pizza.
and I knew what real work was like, so so I remained a salesman.
Decided that wasn't for you, huh?
Oh no, actually I bought an apartment building in Troy recently, so
And we've renovated it with you.
yes, there you go.
Every Tuesday night
I
we
have
hear your
discussed it
sagas.
That's right, the new story of my building. So that's been fun.
But I'm thinking we're going to start bringing back some of the workshops we used to have. We used to have workshops with professionals to help people who had just become single through the
Oh,
the
sure.
problems that they had. So we used to have psychologists and lawyers and I don't know, all kinds of things, psychics even. And we're going to be bringing that back onto the calendar so that people that are newly single can have some input into the process. Sometimes it's hard to when you're first out of a relationship, however you got out of the relationship, it's hard to get started in the social life. It's hard to come to an event where there's a lot of strangers.
Sometimes I think I would suggest, going to one of the smaller events, which would be Tuesday night or Thursday night gathering, something where there aren't so many people that it might be a little overwhelming. And so a smaller event, a history tour, we do history tours.
Oh yeah,
that
those
go
are
to all
always wonderful,
different
wonderful
historic
things.
places, historic houses. In fact, just on TV this past few days, they were talking about the Thomas Cole House, and we went down there last year on a history tour.
With Marilyn and her
With
group.
Marilyn. And then we also, just this past weekend, we went over to Massachusetts and did a house tour over there, the Hinman House. So there's lots of different, history tours that I like to go on. I like historical type things. So done that. The picnics, which I almost won't suggest for a new member because they are, we had 130 people at our last.
I know we had amazing
So we had
turnout.
quite a number of people. It was a good turnout.
But I did hear some stories where people said they felt very left out of our picnics. And
Sometimes.
the same, what you just said, they can be so overwhelming. It's
Yeah.
kind of like the dances being,
Right.
so I agree with you.
Yeah.
New members should start with small.
Start with the smaller venues and then work your way in.
I always kid about the Thursday night gatherings, and they say that's a small event that you should go to and meet people. Well, one of my first activities when I joined was the Thursday night gathering, and I walked into it, and I walked around, and I was there probably 5 minutes, and nobody spoke to me. It was like, oh my, nobody spoke to me. And I thought, if I get back to the door and no one speaks to me, I'm leaving and I'm never coming back. Well, I got almost to the door, and a very nice man stopped and said, hello, are you new? I said, yes, I am. And, I'm going to cry any minute. And he said, well, come on, I'll introduce you to some people. Now, little did I know that was the founder of SOS. I had no idea who he was, but his openness and his friendliness saved me. And the next thing I know, I was really involved in SOS. So I think people should try small events, get to know people, get involved, volunteer, do things, join some whatever event and say, I'll help out, because once you get involved, it becomes your organization, not just the organization. And I think that's what you did. And I'm sure that's what Maria did.
Yes, it is.
And Maria, you should come up
She
on
just went
stage.
outside. She was just talking to the new member, so
So, yep, so it's been great.
it's been good for me, so, yep, I'm
It's been
quite
good
happy.
for me. I'm quite happy too. I hope we go on for another 30 years.
Yeah, I'll continue to go into all the different events, because I do like them.
Close the segment, you're doing so good, just close this segment.
Okay, so that's our segment on what brought us to SOS and what you should do if you're a new member. And now on to the next part.
So, welcome.
Thank you
Welcome
very
to our
much.
board and welcome to presidency. What's inspired you to seek the presidency?
I guess you must have.
Well, then for sure, I'm not so
you
sure
were-
about
you were-
that.
The organization is in such fine shape under your guidance. I thought that perhaps it might be fun to try to see if we could extend that another year, tie it in during our 30th anniversary year to some of the past that I was very familiar with, and coupled with what you've done with some very amazing new emphasis, and where SOS is today is amazing to me. I was involved back in the 90s, and I would never have guessed that it would have been still going this far, this long.
SOS is never been a one-person show. It is a collaborative effort, there's no doubt. It's all its members, whether the members are activity leaders, whether they are board members, simply just volunteers, or just members that come to enjoy activities. It's truly a cooperative effort. When the past year has been very interesting for me, I learned a ton about SOS I never knew. But one of the things that I wanted to do, which you so beautifully have taken over, is the technology part of SOS. I wanted to do that, but just didn't have the know-how. You've put a marvelous IT team together. Can you explain a little bit about what your initiatives are?
Well, we realized that traveling to events and some of our traditional activities at the Hanover Square, our office and meeting location, is difficult, certainly for people who live further away, and even just for the people who are in the Capital District, that it might be close by, but it's very inconvenient right after work to get there and the rest. So the concept is to be what we're referring to as virtual, but essentially online. And we're going forward with the concept of having online sessions that you can join on your computer. They might extend over a wide area. We like to use the example of the farmer in Montana, who certainly can't make it to the Capital District to be a part of our conversation and discussion
Right,
groups that we
exactly,
have on Monday
right.
and Tuesday nights. And if they can be a part of an ongoing online, we're providing the service that we, as a New York State corporation that has a mission statement to help the single community fulfill. I mean, we look at, and I'm assuming our activities are for socialization, which is part of recovering from suddenly becoming single for various different reasons and not feeling 100%. The concept of being able to recover, starting to feel normal again, starting to have friends and come out and socialize. So the online is an attempt for people to get familiar with who we are. They'll see some faces that later they might be able to attend locally and feel more comfortable.
What are some of the particular initiatives? I know that we're on Meetup, right? If you'd like to talk a little bit about Meetup and Facebook.
Well, certainly communication and getting the word out about who we are and what we have to offer. Certainly we have been offering many activities throughout a calendar month. For the month of June, we have something every single day. And certainly when it comes to the weekends, we're running 3 or 4 events in a day. So how do people even know about these opportunities? So we've done a newsletter for many, many decades. And now the issue is really the print media is similar to the newspapers and the rest. It gets replaced with social media. So thus Facebook, of course, is very popular, people are aware of. SOS Meetup page is part of the meetup.com website, which is focused on people being able to connect with different groups that are doing functions, and certainly that's what we do. So we have within Meetup, our page is sosmeetup.com. And there we list all our activities that was in the newsletter. And of course it gives opportunity for people to ask questions and feedback. And we're going the extra step on those sites, more than just listing as we do in the newsletter. We'll have links so that there's some video, there's some feedback, comments. We like to use the term reports from the front, but the activities that have just concluded, people can see what it looks like. So we just had a Memorial Day picnic where 120 people attended plus.
That was a great picnic. I was there. It was marvelous, and it was we got the word out. We were successful in getting the word out, which is great. And in no short thanks to the IT team and to all the helpers, everybody that volunteers. This has been a great initiative. I'm pleased with it. I love the technology. And I think that it absolutely brings us into a new generation, the next 30 years, which is the way I like to look at this. And I love it. So we're right on track. We're doing beautifully, thanks to new capable hands and capable hands that have been there before. So thank you.
You're welcome. Why we do something like that?
Well, as you said, Bill, there's trauma associated with becoming suddenly single. Sometimes it's the death of a spouse, sometimes it's a sudden divorce, sometimes it's just a relationship that goes bad, and sometimes it's just that you've been a caretaker to your parents and your parents die, and you're suddenly alone. And that feeling of aloneness can be overwhelming. And sometimes you come to it and you say, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I want to go out and meet people, but I'm afraid. I don't know how to do that. So, and I'm speaking from past experience. You need a place where it's safe, where it's secure, where it's non-threatening. And so we used to provide a lot of educational programs, and it came to me that that's kind of gone away from our program. So my concept was to bring that back. So I came up with this concept of a discussion panel where we have professionals on legal matters, psychological matters, insurance, medical insurance, anything that confronts somebody who's suddenly single and needs to find out how to do something on their own. And so I thought we could put together a panel discussion, bring it out to the libraries in the area, and present it. And it would be a small group of people that would come to attend, and therefore not so threatening, and yet it would give the needed advice. And after that, they could then come to Singles Outreach, to other workshops and discussion groups and things that would help them to establish themselves as an individual. Because quite often when you're in a relationship, you become part of another. And now you're on your own. You're alone. You're standing on your own 2 feet. And you need help to do that. So coming into this organization, coming into the support system that we have, can help people stand on their own, find out what they're about, and go forward. And once you get that footing under you, then you can go to dances and picnics and all the other social activities, knowing people and knowing who you are. And that's what my concept was. Now I'm working on it. Haven't gotten quite there yet, but soon. I'm hoping for the fall.
And it's a project that's just getting started,
Yes.
and there's a lot of work to do. We're going to enhance that. Staying with the concept of the word alone, we're a singles group, so that implies you're alone, you're an individual. What our organization tries to overcome for an individual is that you're not lonely. If you have
That's right.
friends and places to go, all of a sudden you're not sitting at home lonely, looking to do something. There's opportunities for you. So the Unruly Singles project will be at local public libraries that might be convenient for some people to get to, and we intend on archiving that as video
Yes.
footage. We have our website, which is singlesoutreach.org, and if you're a member, you should be able to log into the reference area of that website and see the programs that they might have otherwise missed or not had an opportunity to go to at the libraries. And then we also have more, just as you say, there's divorce guides and on and on and on. So we were offering reference material and assistance for people to take care of the various different areas that pop up that you're thrusted into that you might not know how to best handle. And of course, once you get over some of the original hurdles in the Suddenly Singles program, you might meet a friend or two, get acquainted. And that's the key to getting into the socialization part of our organization
That's
that
right.
we do so well, that we talk so much about, that we've been running on and on, is Friday night dances would be a perfect example. You need somebody that you've met at one of the smaller activities or met at this program that you've met, and when you know there's somebody there that you already know.
It's not so
yeah,
intimidating.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's not a issue that you made it to the parking lot, then decided to turn around and go back
We've had a
home.
lot of people say that.
Oh, yeah, that happens all the
The
time.
parking lot, we used to have a President Bill that used to put on tailgate parties for people who got cold feet at the last minute, came to an event in the parking lot, couldn't make themselves go inside. So one of our presidents started up a tailgate party to help people to make the next step into the building. But I think the support system that the Singles Outreach offers is a very vital part to the healing and the recovery process of suddenly becoming single.
We probably do that well because we have, again, we are a New York State corporation. We have a board of directors, and currently with 12 people plus the president. So, focus on that, and most likely each one of us have gone through that ourselves. So we know what it's like, and we keep that in mind.
You know, Bill, there's another facet of our organization that we very seldom touch on, but I think it's important, are the people that have never been in a relationship or have never been with someone else, that have always been single. And sometimes that in itself is almost a stigma, and people have trouble fitting into our society, which is a coupled society. So we also have activities and events and even discussion groups and things that help those people that have been alone for all of their lives to feel like they still are a valuable member of our society, not just a third wheel, you know, that they have a group of people that are in their same situation. So they're not so much in trauma, but they're still there and they still need a support system, and that's what we offer them. So we cover the whole gamut of people.
We hope so.
We try.
And so our name is Singles Outreach Services. We like to go affectionately by just Singles Outreach, and sometimes called SOS. Our phone number is 452-6883. Our website is singlesoutreach.org.